Good morning, yogis. Welcome to Debbie Lash Yoga. We've got 60 minutes of active yoga for strength and flexibility this morning. I've got a couple of blocks here, but if you don't have blocks, don't worry. You can use a pillow, blankets, books, whatever you need. But I will be using these in my practice. So if you haven't got any blocks, maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's time to invest in some. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start in Virasana on our knees today. And if you need, you can put a block in between your feet and sit down. If you don't need it, you can either bring the feet together and sit your buttocks onto your heels. And if you would like to go a little deeper, you can bring your feet apart and just walk and just work your sit bones down towards the mat. And just sit up nice and tall. And just take a moment to land on your mat, on your magic carpet. So I am going to put a block here. And this is a really nice way to start the class. Just stretching the tops of the feet, your shins. And just close the eyes down. And imagine that you are supported by a wall and you're just going to gently lean your back into this imaginary wall. So your lower back is pressing. And then just draw your shoulder heads back into this imaginary wall. And gently just press your back of your head so your whole back body is connected and supported. Belly is slightly engaged. Spread your toes, actively pressing all 10 toenails into the floor. Let the investigation begin. Investigating how you feel at this present moment. Notice any sounds around you. Any conversations going on in your mind? What are you telling yourself? And how's the breath? Start to consciously lengthen the inhale all the way to the top. And just pausing at the top. And a slow, long exhale to the bottom. And hold the breath out. A few more cycles of breath just like this. Just witnessing and watching the inhale come into the body. And then noticing the breath leave the body and how that feels. One more cycle of breath here. Bring the hands together at the heart center, bowing chin to chest. If you'd like to bring an intention or dedication to this practice, now is the time. And if you don't know what intention to bring to the practice, I always start with asking that my body is open and my mind is clear, and you can add anything to that. Inhale, open the eyes, and gently lift the gaze. I'm going to start with a nice little stretch of the neck. So we're going to bring the right hand on top of the head and just walk your hand over to the ear and just gently tilt your head to the side, to the right. And then you're going to reach your left hand out. Maybe you can touch the floor, maybe not. And I'm just going to start to shift my left arm back. Take 3 cycles of breath, just like this. And there doesn't need to be a lot of pressure on the head. Just guiding. And just listening. Listening to the body. And inhale, lifting the head up. And exhale, just swap sides. Left arm up. That's it. And then just reach that right hand away and then just gently back. Maybe you can just play with drawing the chin down towards the chest. Just finding that sweet spot. And when you're ready, lifting up. And I don't like to, when I just do a neck roll, I only like to do a half. I don't like to roll my head all the way back. But if that feels good in your body, then just go with it. But I'm just doing a half neck roll. There's a lot of tension in my shoulders. Sometimes we sleep a little funny. I sleep on my belly, so often my neck can be a little tight. And one more neck roll here. And when you're ready, we're going to stand up on our knees. Just move your block to the side. Gate pose. So take the right leg out. And you're trying to bring the little pinky toe down to the mat so the foot is parallel. If your foot needs to turn out, then so be it. It's all good. But ideally, the foot's parallel. Left arm up, spin the palm, and then walk that hand down the shin. Take 5 cycles of breath. And this is a wonderful stretch into the side body. And this actually feels a little tricky to breathe in this pose because the diaphragm's slightly compressed. So how does that feel in your body? Keep pressing that right pinky toe into the mat, lifting the right knee and the right thigh. And inhale, lift up. And then we're going to come into modified side plank. Top arm up. You can even put a block here if you need it. Arm up and over. That's it. And if you're looking for, got a little bit more juice, you can play by lifting that bottom knee off the floor, creating that nice little triangle shape in the bottom leg. Definitely a little more bang for your buck. Lift up in the side waist. And one more cycle of breath. Place the bottom knee down. And inhale, lift up. Step the knees together. Good. Other side. Left foot out. Tiptoe the left hand down. Right arm up. Spin the palm. And arm up and over. These are gently drawing up the ribs in. Stay right there. That's it. Keep tiptoeing the fingers down and away. How's the breath? Keep pressing that pinky toe. The more you press that pinky toe down, you're going to feel the inner arch of the foot lift up. Good. Inhale, lift up. And modified side plank. Some of you are going to just keep the arm up. Some of you are going to take the arm up and over. And that's a really nice stretch from that back heel all the way through the fingertips. Some of you with a bit more juice this morning, you're going to lift that bottom knee off the floor. 3 more cycles of breath. Keep pressing down to lift up. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, top arm up. Place the bottom knee down. And then we're going to bring both hands down to the floor. We're in tabletop position. Good, let's move through some cat-cow. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Forward, just at your own pace. Connecting movement to breath. Just feeling your body. Just observing. Last one here. And we're just going to do a little core work while we're here. So extend the right leg straight back. Left arm forward. Float that leg up. Good. Now lift the back ribs. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale. Opposite elbow to knee. 4 more. Movement to breath. The most important part of any pose. Last one, we're going to pause. Option to stay here. Some of you are going to put a bend into the knee. Windmill the left arm back, catch the foot. And then roll that shoulder, look to the back foot. 4 more cycles of breath. Keep kicking the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. And when you're ready, release. Good, other side. Float the left leg straight back. Right arm forward. Inhale, lift. And then lift the back ribs. There's that cat pose right there. Inhale, lengthen, breathe in. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more. Last one here. Put a bend into the left knee. Wiggle the arm back. Catch the foot. 4 more cycles of breath. And then activate that grounded hand, the grounded foot. That's it. And when you're ready, reach and land. Good. 5 more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, heart lifts. Round and round. Squeeze the belly. Good. 2 more. Press down through the knuckles as you lift the chest. Lifting up into downward facing dog. Pedal through the feet. Just ironing out the creases of the morning. Maybe this isn't a morning practice for you. Maybe it's the night. It's all good. The main thing is that you're showing up, doing the work. Good. Inhale. Come forward into plank pose. And just lift up here. Good. Float that right foot off the floor. Just building some strength. Have a look. Toes are pointing down. That's it. Swap sides. One more cycle of breath. And you can drop the knees here to lower all the way to the floor. And lifting up into Sphinx pose. Lift the chest, point the toes, walk the inner ankles together. It feels like you're dragging your heart through the gateway of your shoulders. This is a nice, gentle back bend. Spread your toes, get the toes on the floor. Some of you feel really good just staying here. Some of you feel ready to lift up. And again, if you've got a little bit of mobility, more mobility in the back, you're going to walk the hands back, lift up. 5 more cycles of breath. Rooting down through the forefinger thumb. And 1 more cycle of breath here. Lowering all the way back down. Crossing the left hand towards the right, bend your right knee. And windmill the arm back, catch the foot. So this is a nice quad stretch. Great for all you cyclists and hikers and runners. We're pressing the heel towards the buttock and looking forward. 5 more cycles of breath. And just count the breath so it brings you into the meditation of the pose. And some of you might be able to spin those fingers forward. Just a little more rotation in the shoulders. And last cycle of breath here. And release. Other side. So right hand towards the left, cross it over, bend the left knee. Windmill the arm back. Maybe some of you might even need a strap here to catch the foot. You're pressing the heel towards the buttock. And I like to spin my fingers forward. That's it. Look forward. So both shoulders are facing forward. Press your pubic bone down to lift your chest up. So you've got Sphinx pose in the chest. Point through the right toe. Lift the knee, and there's the kneecaps lifting off the floor. The bit of the thigh. More cycle of breath here. And release. Good. Clasp your hands together. Actually point the toes. Nice little bit of core work. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, feet on the floor. Lift up. Inhale, lower. Try and keep the thighs off the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one here. Lift up. Tuck the toes under. Good. Feet hips distance. Drop the both heels over to the left. Pause here. Inhale, lower the left hip down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Notice how hard you're squeezing your hands together, and maybe you can soften them there. 2 more here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And other side. So this is nice for bringing out your waist. Might certainly been feeling a little bit more squidgy these days. That's it. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. High on tippy toes. Dolphin pose. Are you ready? Tiptoe the feet in towards your elbows. Stay here. Drop the head. Make sure that maybe a little nod in the head feels good. But you're pressing down, lifting the shoulder heads up. Rolling those inner thighs back. And last cycle of breath. Tiptoe the feet back into forearm plank. Lowering all the way down. We're going to roll onto our back. A little bit more core. Did I hear some groans then? That's it. So, elbows into the floor. Hands up. Release the 4 fingers. Both hands on the outside of the right thigh. And now lift that right shoulder higher. Inhale. Lower the left leg down. Exhale, lift. 4 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Last one. And other side, over to the left. Lift that left shoulder up. Inhale, lower the right leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Movement to breath. That's it. Last one here. Good. And then come back to center. Hands underneath the buttock flesh. You can keep the shoulders up, or if there's pain in your neck, you can put the head down. Good. We're going to lower the legs a third, and then another third. And then the feet hover. Exhale, lift. Good. Point the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Flex the feet. Exhale, lift. Good. 3 more. That's it. How's it feeling? Should feel a little bit of a burn. Last one here. We're going to keep the feet hovering off the floor. Pause. Now lift. Flutter the feet. 10, 9, 8. I won't keep counting. That's it. You count it. 3, 2, 1. Knees into the chest. That's it. Feet on the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So when the core is strong, it helps transform every other pose. That's it. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And last one here. Lower all the way down. Take a full body stretch. That's it. Breathing in from your fingers all the way down to your toes. And when you're ready, knees into the chest. Rock forwards and backwards. Rock and roll. Spinal health. And with a little boat pose, Navasana for balance. Core stability. 2 more. Last one. Going to rock forward. Some of you are going to step back, jump back, lower all the way down. Good. Low Cobra for 3. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one here. Squeeze the elbows in. Tuck the toes under. Plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay right here. Spread your fingers. You can have a look at your hands. Make sure your forefingers facing forward. Heels are drifting down. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out. Inhale, come high on the tippy toes. Bend the knees. And tiptoe your feet all the way up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the sacrum. Drop the head, arms up and over. 5 cycles of breath. Spread your toes. Find even standing in your feet. You may notice that you're sitting in the heels. So you can, the sit bones come back over your heels. You want to shift that weight. Drop the head, look all the way up. Lift your belly. This feels really good across my shoulders and my back, my hamstrings. How does it feel in your body? Just notice how the poses feel. Any sharp pains, come out of the poses. And remember, you can take child's pose at any point in the practice. Listen to your body. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Now I'm just going to click out of this. There we go. Okay, let's move through. We're going to move through Surya Namaskara C. We don't do that very often, but you're going to listen carefully because there's a lot of cueing. And you know, a lot of the time in yoga, we're an automatic pilot and we know the pose and the sequence. So listen carefully. All right, both arms up, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Half lift, breathe in. Float the left leg straight back. Good. Drop the knee to the left knee down. Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under, step the right foot back. Vinyasa, shift the weight. Inhale, roll over the toes, pause in up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Float the right leg straight back. Inhale. Knee to nose. Maybe touch if you can. Step the right foot forward. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Lift up, look up. Hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under. Step the back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. So that's just half of it. Other side, both arms up, breathe in. Forward fold and bow. Movement to breath, moving meditation. Float the right leg straight back. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under. Step back plank. Vinyasa. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. Down dog. Float the left leg straight back. Inhale. Knee to nose. Step it through. Right knee down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under. Inhale, step the right foot up. Hands on the shins, lift up halfway. Forward fold and bow. Press down through feet. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart. So that's 1 for 1. Let's go again. Both arms up, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Left foot float straight back. Knee to the floor. Inhale, Anjali Asana. Hands to the floor. Tuck the toe under, step back. Vinyasa. Know that you could be doing low Cobra instead of up dog. Float the right leg straight back, 3-legged dog. Step it through. Back knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Lift up, look up. Hands to the floor. Step the back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. So that's half. Hands to heart. Other side, both arms up, breathe in. Then do the belly of breath. Exhale. Half lift. Float the right leg straight back. Drop the knee to the floor. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toe under. Vinyasa. Inhale, left leg float straight back. Knee to nose. Step it through. Right knee down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the back toe. Step the back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees, drop the hips. And just stay here. That's it, building some heat, strength. And often in this pose, impatience comes up, annoyance. Just shift the weight into the heels. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Hands to the floor. Step back. Vinyasa. Right foot forward, warrior one. Classic warrior B. Hands to the floor. Vinyasa. If you want to skip the vinyasas, feel free. Left foot forward. Inhale. Back heel down. Firm that left hip in. 5 cycles of breath. And downward facing dog. Maybe playing lifting up onto the fingertips for this one. So getting out of the wrists. Find that cat pose in your down dog. Lift the back ribs up. Look at your heels. Make sure your heels are tucked nicely behind the big toes. Helping that internal rotation of the thighs. One more cycle of breath. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Inhale, come higher on your tippy toes. Bend the knees, step, walk, or float. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Should feel a nice amount of heat in the body now. Hands to heart. One more round, Surya B. Bend the knees, drop the hips. That's it, getting out of your head, landing into your beautiful body. Shift the weight forward. Roll over the toes. Right foot forward, warrior one. One breath to the top. Inhale. Hands to the floor. Exhale. Keep the same exhale. Inhale, lift up. Down dog. Left foot forward. Back heel down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Vinyasa. 5 cycles of breath here. Take a big sigh out whenever you need it. It's a great way of expelling any stale breath, toxins in the body, just shifting energy. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. Put a bend in the knee, open up the hip. That's it. Circle the ankle. Inhale, straighten the leg. Right knee, right elbow, glide forward. Pause, hold it, lift up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Cross it over to the left. Pause, lift. Inhale, three-legged dog. Step it through. Good, low lunge, back knee down. Walk the right foot over. Bring both hands inside. Lizard pose, inhale, lift. Some of you are going to stay up on the fingertips because this is already a juicy pose. Others are going to come down to the elbows, or you can put a block there. Feels really good. Lift the chest, squeeze. The work is squeezing that right knee into the chest. That's it. How's the breath? You're firming the outer hips in. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, come up onto the hands. And again, some of you might have a block here. Put a bend into the back knee. Windmill the right arm back, catch the foot, press the heel to the buttock. We were here earlier when we were in Sphinx pose, pressing the heel to the buttock. So it's the same really delicious quad stretch. And some of you might feel ready to maybe drop the knee out and then drop that shoulder. Actually, I don't even need the block here. Whoopsie. That's it. This is a really delicious hip opener. And release the foot. Inhale. Both hands outside the front foot. Hamstring stretch. Half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. And again, you can have blocks underneath the hands. If your hamstrings are tight, that's it. Press the crown of the head forward. Flexing that right foot. Firming the right hip in. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, bend the front knee. Tuck the back toe under. Three-legged down dog. Float the right leg straight back. And three-legged plank. Ardha Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Left side. Float the left leg straight back. Put a bend into the knee. Open the hip. Circle the ankle. And straighten the leg. Left knee, left elbow, glide forward. Inhale, lift. I put my phone on silent now, someone's calling me, always the way. That's it. Knee to nose round. Step it through. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, lift. Both hands inside. Inhale, lift the chest. So lizard pose right here. That's it. Someone's trying to get hold of me. Come down into the elbows. Squeeze that left knee into the left shoulder. Always the way. Part of the yoga is just realizing that it's perfect just the way that it is. Life carries on. That's it. Squeezing that left knee in. Feels nice and juicy in the hips. Inhale, come up onto the hands. Again, some of you are going to put a block here. Wiggle the arm back, catch that foot. And if you can't catch the foot, you can put a strap there or a belt, or just reach back. Doesn't matter if it doesn't connect. Just let the body know one day where you'll be going. And I'm going to just lean the head back so it opens the heart. Keep breathing. Just notice the sensations in your body and where that takes your mind. Make sure you're being kind to yourself, emotionally, mentally, physically, and release. Good. Hands either side of the front foot. Again, you've got your blocks here if you need them. Half splits. Inhale, lift. Tiptoe the fingers. 5 cycles of breath. Belly is engaged. Hips are firming in towards the midline. Flexing that left foot, and I like to try and steer my left pinky toe back towards the hip. And if your hamstrings are tight, put a bend into the knee. Just be kind. You don't want to overstretch those hamstrings. And if you've been sitting a lot, sometimes they can be really tight. That's it. Good. Bend the front knee. 3-legged down dog. Float the left leg straight back. 3-legged plank. Ardha Chaturanga. Remember, you can skip that back with the leg lifted. Downward facing dog. Stay right here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out. Inhale, come high up, lift the right leg straight back. Knee to nose round. Pause. Lower the knee to the floor. Exhale, lift. Good. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. And step it through. Back heel down. Warrior 2. Wiggle the arm up. Exhale, sink. That's it. Reach through the fingers. Sink into the front thigh. Let's have a look. Notice if your knee's rolling in and just steer it over to the right. Reaching through that back hand. Sink lower and just play with it. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, pressing that front thigh down. 2 more cycles of breath. You're firming that right buttock in, sharpening that back leg. Reverse the warrior. You can place the hand or take the wrap, top arm up, and then again press that front thigh down. Lift up. Feel like you want to tickle the sky or the ceiling. And transition through warrior 2. Phoas. Arm up and over. Some of you might want to take a bind. You might even be ready for a full bind here. But keep sinking into the front thigh, sharpening the back leg. And imagine that imaginary wall, leaning back into it. Pull the ribs in. Inhale, top arm up. Good. We're going to bring both hands to the floor. Parallel the feet. Pasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, hands onto the sacrum. Arms up and over. Stay here. 5 cycles of breath. Pick your heels up. Press them out. Shift your weight. Notice if you're sitting in the heels. It's a really common thing to do, is that we sit in the heels. So shift the weight. Feel the pinky toe. Feel your big toe. You can just move the neck gently. And when you're ready, we're going to lower the hands to the floor and then turn back to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale. Float your right leg straight back. Put a bend into the knee. Open the hip. Some of us are going to flip the dog all the way over. 5 cycles of breath. That's it. Point the left toe. Get the big toe onto the floor. Pressing down to lift up. Inhale, top arm up. Vinyasa or skip, you choose. Downward facing dog. Good. Other side. I'm just going to spin around. You stay where you are. Float the left leg straight back. Inhale. Knee to nose. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale. Lower the knee to the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. A lot more core stability here. Good. Step it through. Warrior 2. Back heel down. Windmill that right arm back. Lift up. Exhale, sink. Good. So your body is facing the screen. You sink into the front thigh. And then the head turns and looks over that front hand. The middle finger is your focus. A single point, the drifty. Good. Inhale here. Sink lower, exhale. Firming that left buttock in. Sharpening the back foot. And you have a look at your back foot. Pick the back heel up, press it back. 1 more cycle of breath, little rumble. Back hand to thigh, half wrap. Reverse the warrior. Lift up, look up. And you're feeling you're lifting off this hip. That's it, keep pressing that left thigh down. And transition through warrior 2. Phoas. Again, some of you might be taking a half bind, full bind, whatever you did on the first side. Do it here. 5 cycles of breath. Press down, lift up. You're rotating that top arm. Spin the chest, lean the head back. Make sure your head's not hanging down. That nice alignment through the back of the neck, the spine. And top arm up, hand to the floor. Float the left leg straight back. Option for flip the dog or just bend the knee, open the hip. What feels good today? A little bit more energy to flip the dog. 5 more cycles of breath. You can even play with lifting that foot off the floor. 1 more cycle of breath here. Vinyasa. Feel free to skip it. Downward facing dog. Feet hips distance. Stay right here. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the feet. And grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward folding bow. Bend the elbows. I like to squeeze my elbows in towards my shins. Just notice everything shifting and moving. And Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Good, inhale. Come up high onto the tippy toes. Lower to a squat. Some of us are going to take Malasana. Some of us are going to take Bakasana. So you choose to keep your feet together. This is a modification of Malasana. Take the knees. You can tiptoe the hands up. This feels really nice. Lift the back ribs. Or if you're Bakasana today, come with me. If you'd like to come up into a tripod headstand, feel free. That's it. Stay right here. I'm going to lower the head to the floor. Shoot my legs up. Halfway. Reset the elbows. Lift up. Find that single point of focus. Remember, this is always an option. You can take it to the wall quickly if you need to. And when you're ready, bend the knees. Going back into Bakasana. Inhale, lift. Good, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Standing on your left foot, cross the right foot over. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart. Lower down, flex the foot. Firm that right hip in. Firm the left hip in. Lift the chest. Some of us are going to stay here. Some of you might want to play with bringing hands on blocks if you've got them. This is a good way to slowly work your way into an arm balance, or actually even just getting your hands to the floor. That's it. And this turns into a little arm balance. I'm very sweaty here, so actually I don't think my foot's going to stay. So I'm just going to play with lifting that foot off the floor today. And walking the hands back. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Lift the right knee up. Grab the big toe. Some of us are just going to stay right here. Others are going to play with extending that right leg out. Roll that right outer hip down. Inhale, lift. Open that hip wide. 5 cycles of breath. How are you feeling? How's your balance? These balancing poses are a great way to prepare the body for meditation. Inhale, come back to center. Option to take a twist. Left hand to the outside. And then we're going to reach, or you're going to bend the knee. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. So same pose, but either the leg is bent or straight. You choose. You can turn the head, look back to that back thumb or a single point, and step the feet together. Well done, yogis. How did that go for you? All right, Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Standing on the right foot, cross the left foot over, hands at heart. 5 cycles of breath. Lift the chest, lift your chin. Keep lowering the hips to the floor. Maybe you're going to start with your hands on blocks. Haven't done this pose for, feels like a long time. Because I've been cycling a lot, I've just been doing different poses, working out a little differently. And just playing with this arm balance. I'm just going to lift the foot up. My arm is super sweaty. And walking all the way back up. Lift up. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale here. Lift the shoulders, lift the chest. Extend that left leg out. Keep rolling the left hip down. Find that single point on the wall or lifting the gaze. Inhale, lift the heel. And open wide. 3 more cycles of breath wherever you are. Inhale, come back to center. And you've got your twist. Leg straight, leg bent. There we go. 5 cycles of breath. And release, set the feet together. Utkatasana chair, bend the knees, drop the hips. Forward fold and bow, exhale. Good. Just walk the feet hips distance. Padahastasana, we're going to pick our feet up, slide the hands under, slide the hands under the feet, and bring the big toes to the creases of your wrists. Now bend the knees so you can get them to meet. Drop the head, and then when you're ready, then you start to lift the knees and the thighs up. But this is more of a stretch of the wrists from those arm balances. That's it. Drop the head. Effortless ease here. Roll those inner thighs. The head is heavy. Gravity is your best friend. Walking into downward facing dog. Make sure you've got your blocks handy. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. Knee to nose round. Pause and hold. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it through. Good. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, keep the back toes tucked under. Maybe you're going to have blocks here. Lift the chest. Pyramid pose, exhale, round. Straight in the front leg. I like to flex my front foot. Some of you will keep the front toes down. Good. 3 more. Bend the knee. Lift the chest. Exhale, round. That's it. Last one. Pause and hold. Lift the back heel. High on the fingertips. I'm going to work with the bandhas. Uddiyana bandha. Jaran bandha is chin to chest. Uddiyana is lifting the belly. Muddy bandha, squeezing that muscle in the perineum. Place the front foot down. Walk your hands back. High on the fingertips. Kick the heel to the back. Squeeze and firm that right hip in. This is called fallen flamingo. And place the back foot down. Good. Set the back foot up a third. Make sure you've got a block handy if you need it. I like to bring a block on the outside of the front foot. Hands on the hips. Inhale, rise. Good work. So keep the right thumb into the right hip. Steer the right hip back. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. Lift the back ribs. Inhale, breathe in. Firm the hips in. Exhale, take a twist. Lift the chest. And if it feels good, you can keep the thumb there if that feels good. Otherwise, some of you are going to float that arm up. That's it. Keep firming the right hip in. Little bend into that knee. 5 cycles of breath. That's it. Put a smile in your eyes. Taste out. I love yoga. How does this pose feel? Sometimes a little resistance in these twists. Especially if we haven't been doing them for a while. Make certain things come up, show up in the body. Just a reminder. So listen to your body. And hand to the floor. Good. Vinyasa or skip, you choose. Good. Other side. I'm just going to spin around. Downward facing dog. Inhale, put the left leg straight back. Knee to nose round. Hold it here. 5. Shoulders over the wrist. See if you can touch knee to nose. 3, 2, 1. Step it through. Drop the back knee down. Keep the back toes tucked under. Inhale, lift the chest. Pyramid pose. Exhale, round. Good. 3 more. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the knee. Exhale, round. Last one here. Holding pyramid pose. Stay here. 5 cycles of breath. Firm the left hip in. Pressing down through your fingertips to lift those back ribs. Chin to chest, jaw and under. Place the front foot down, spin your fingers, walk them back, and kick the heel to the buttock. Forward flamingo, chin, chest, belly, spine. And place the back foot down, walk the left foot over. For me, a block on the outside of that left foot, and maybe a little bit more stability by having the feet hips distance here. Lift all the way up. Good. Left thumb into the left hip crease. Steer it back. Inhale, right arm up. Lift up, look up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Again, squeeze, lift, spin, top arm up. Lift that side waist. Always finding and creating space in the body. That's it. How does this pose feel on this side? You feel very different. That's it. One more cycle of breath here. And both hands to the floor. Good. Vinyasa or skip, you choose. I'm just going to flush it through. Deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. Good. Drop the knees to the floor. And come and lie all the way down to your belly. Low Cobra. Drag the hands back. Squeeze the elbows in. Inner ankles together. Point the toes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Salambhasana. Hands back. Palms facing up. Reach the right foot up. Forehead on the floor. Left foot. Spread the toes. Now inhale, lift. Exhale here. 3 more cycles of breath. Keep pressing the hands into the floor so you can lift and lengthen the chest forward and away from your feet. Notice any resistance. And exhale, lower. Bend the knees. Reach for the ankles. Vinyasa. Walk the knees back together. Inhale, forehead on the floor. Lift the knees and thighs. Inhale, lift. 5 cycles of breath here. Keep squeezing the knees in towards each other. Kick the feet into the hands, hands into the feet. And when you're ready, lower, all the way down. And inhale, come up onto your knees. And camel pose today. So come into Virasana. Again, you could use the blocks here if you've got them. If you don't, it's all good. So you can put the blocks right by your ankles. And inhale, stand up onto your knees. Bring your hands onto your buttock flesh and then squeeze the elbows and fingers are facing down. And there's a slight pressing the buttock flesh down, so you're creating space in your back waist. Imagine your thighs were pressing up against a wall, so press your, and it's actually the same shape that you just made when you were lying on the floor a moment ago in Debbielashyoga, but now your thighs are pressing forward. Imagine they're pressing into the floor. Elbows squeeze in. Inhale, lift the chest. That's it. Look down at your chest. Find a single point of focus. Spread your toes. Press the toenails into the floor. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Okay, just take a moment. Receive the pose. And inhale. Lift up onto the knees again. And this time you've got the option, you can take the same pose again, or some of you are going to drop back. Now you've got the blocks here, bring one hand onto the block. If you don't have blocks, you can tuck the toes under, so you don't have so far to drop back. Or just some of you are going to just bring the hands and set the pose up the same way you did, and then just lengthen back. Keep looking down at the chest. Lift, press the thighs forward, hips forward. Maybe you're going to drop the head back. This activates the thyroid gland. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Lion's breath. One more. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, lower. Good. Just take a moment. Palms facing up. Receive the pose. This pose can bring up a lot of emotions. It's a big heart opener. You can bring one hand on the heart. Feel your heart rate elevate. It feels so good. Okay, so our peak pose today, Supta Virasana. So we've started today on the knees in preparation for this pose. And now it just depends how this feels in your body. So I like to tuck my thigh in and roll my calf muscle out. I've got quite big calf muscles, just to create a bit more space. This pose, next pose, is not easy for me. Doesn't come, doesn't come naturally, that's for sure. And a lot of you, your sit bones are just going to gravitate to the floor, and you could stay here. A lot of children they sit like this. They can sit like this for hours. But for me, I feel sensitivity in my knees, so I do need to be really mindful. A lot of you are going to need to put a block, a pillow, or something underneath. And this feels enough. Okay, so just play with it. See how it feels. And remember, any pain in the knees come out of the pose. It's really not worth it. Okay, so we're here. A lot of you, it's just going to feel, you're going to just drop the hands, lift the chest, and you're just going to stay here. You're going to stay here for 10 cycles of breath. Okay, for others, I can take this pose, Supta Virasana, with the block. I can't get my back all the way to the floor, but with the block, I can take this supine, this lying down position. So I'm putting this along my spine, and I can put this block underneath my head. So I'm just going to stay here. That's it. And this is a wonderful stretch through the front of the thighs. It's a heart opener. It's a hip opener. but it can feel very intense in some people's bodies. So just play with it. Remember, you can stay seated upright. And if none of that felt good, you could take a headstand, or you could, we're going to take single pigeon after it, but if you wanted to go there already, or you could take thread the needle. So lots of options. But just breathing into your heart space, breathing into the side ribs, breathing into your lower belly. Just creating more space and peace, calmness, kindness, compassion. Really just filling up with joy. Just see, does this pose bring you joy? Ask yourself. 3 more cycles of breath, wherever you are. And at any point, you can lower the block. Some of you might not even need the block. Some of you might want to come onto the crown of the head. So again, it's always just an investigation. And making your way up and coming up, all the way up. Oh, good. Maybe a few rounds of cat-cow here for a really good inhale, heart lift. Yeah, exhale round. This feels really good in my body. And when you're ready, just moving your tops out the way. Single pigeon. Coming through downward facing dog first. We're just going to step that right knee to the right wrist, swinging that right foot across. Inhale, lift. This feels really good. Lift the chest. Exhale, lower. And again, if you've got these blocks, I like to rest this block so my body, my torso can release down. Put the other block right here underneath the forehead. This feels really good. And I'm actively pressing that left hip down. You can even put your hand on the left hip. Make sure, have a look at your right foot, flex those right toes. Firm that right hip in. And one more cycle of breath. Inhale, come up onto the hands. We've done a lot of work stretching that quad today. So bring your right hand, you can bring it on the block or onto the floor. Bend the left knee. One more that arm back, catch the foot. And again, bring the heel to the buttock. Maybe spin those fingers forward. 5 cycles of breath. And just notice how those front thighs have opened up through. We've done a lot of work on those today. Lift the chest. There's that feeling of Sphinx pose, lifting the chest up and away from the floor. And release. Other side. Left knee to the left wrist. Inhale, lift up. And again, we'll bring that block here into pretty much where my ankle, well, where the shin is. And then I'm going to release my torso. Maybe you need a couple of blocks here. Whatever you need. And then once you're there, press that right hip down. There's a tendency of what we roll into the left buttock because it's tight. You really want to activate that right hip. Spread the toes of your right foot. Press all 5 toenails down. And there's a nice little gentle lift of the belly. Uli under. I like connecting the third eye to the block, just that little bit of pressure, finding that connection to my intuition, my wisdom. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Maybe you can put a block underneath the left hand if you need that little bit more height. And heel to the back. 5 cycles of breath here. Lift the chest. Both shoulders are facing forward. You're not turning to look to the back foot. Press down to lift your beautiful chest and your heart. And release. Rolling onto that left buttock. We'll take one more forward fold and bow. Just coming into Dandasana first. Hands either side. Again, you could put blocks here. If you needed that, press down to lift up. Or just heels of the hands down. Flex your feet. Roll the inner thighs. Inhale, lift. Lift up, look up. Exhale. Forward fold and bow. I'm going to bring a block. I like putting a block behind my feet. Just for that extra length. It's a delicious stretch for your lower back. And if your hamstrings feel tight, bend your knees. Be kind. Don't overstretch. And I could stay here. This feels so good. Inhale, lift the chest. And we're going to lie all the way down. Then the knees, soles of the feet together, coming all the way down. Final pose. If you need something else, maybe you want to twist here. Maybe you can have 2 more poses. No one's looking. You do what you need to. And actually, you know what? I'm going to take a twist. So just bring the knees together, arms in T-shape or cactus. Drop both knees to the left. Ah, that feels really good. Actually, that's exactly what I needed. Maybe you want happy baby. There's just so many poses. That's why I say, like, if I'm not giving you a pose in this practice that your body needs, just do it. Take what you need, leave what you don't need. I'm just your yoga guide on the side. Knees to center. And knees the other way. Oh, so good. Just setting yourself up for the day, or maybe your day is drawing to the end. But just know that the hardest part of this whole class was making time to get to the mat. So well done. Come back to center. Shavasana. Well deserved. Shavasana. Some of you might want to put your legs up the wall. You can put your legs on blocks here. This is quite a nice idea. Put your legs here. And receive your practice. Take a deep breath into the top. Lion's breath, open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Shavasana. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana and honor your practice if you need to take more time here. Otherwise, a little subtle movement in the fingers and toes. Inhaling, lifting the arms up and over the head. Take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Inhale, draw the knees to the chest, squeeze it in, forehead to the knees. And when you're ready, roll to the side. Pause for a moment. And pressing down through the hands, bring yourself all the way up. In a cross-seated position. Let's seal in the practice. Gratitude for all the benefit yoga brings us both on and more importantly off the mat. Inhale, take the prayer to the third eye. You're amazing. Humbly bow. Namaste. Well done, yogis. Thanks for joining me here today. If you're in a position to donate, my PayPal and Venmo details are on the bottom of the description of this class. Otherwise, you can find them on Instagram, debbielashyoga. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Give me a thumbs up. Leave some comments. It really does help other people when they're looking to choose a workout. Take care. Bye.